Yo, dude was hella reckless. So we get up to the I think he broke the arm when you come into the rental car pickup place. Look at this shit. Hold on. See this? Yo ran right into it. Like he was coming up, and you're supposed to turn over here if you're a car and go into the parking lot. Over here is where the buses come in. My man's picked up his phone. He was looking at his phone, I guess, to make sure that we was in the right place. Child totally missed a sign that said buses only and ran into that. Yo crashed through that sign like Dukes of motherfucking Hazzard. Do you understand me? I was like, oh shit. Hey, I'm so glad that it actually like went up though. Like it went up over the car just enough not to break. It is Thursday the 8th. And I'm just walking in. This is what I keep getting angry about. This is how he looks when I come in. He has all of this dry, crusty stuff on his mouth. His head is positioned like this with the wound on his ear not getting any air, as wound care has stated, as I have stated. And they keep putting him on the ear, and then I keep having to clean it. It keeps getting infected. Like, I don't understand what it is that they don't understand about the fact that he cannot be positioned like this. And I say it every day. Every day. So, I'm a little bit pissed off, but I'm just going to do my wife duties. I come in here, I reposition his neck, I clean up his face, I get him together. Okay, so this is how I have him adjusted. It's a much more neutral position, a much more comfortable position. So first things first, I got him off of that ear. As you can see, it is weeping. They are not cleaning it. Nobody has been in here yesterday or today to clean this ear. I was here yesterday from 9 to 5. Nobody came to clean that ear. So I cleaned it when I came in, irrigated it, and yeah, just cleaned it up and got his head off of it so it can dry out. So as you can see, there's all this that's going on with it, so it needs to dry. I cleaned his mouth. As you can see, I also moisturized his lips. I brushed his teeth because they are not brushing his teeth. I cleaned his scalp and his hair, moisturized his beard, made sure that his arms are in a neutral position and his elbows are supported. And then I moisturized his legs because I noticed that the back of his legs were starting to get very dry. And with him sitting on top of these things, I wanted to make sure that his leg skin was protected. Important for his head positioning to be as kind of neutral as possible, but off of that side. So over here, wound care suggested that we put a pillow under his shoulder on that side. So I put the pillow under there. They did not have a pillow under his shoulder. And then I adjusted this pillow so that he could be in a neutral position. Also, these lines was wrapped around his line for his feeding tube. It was like all wrapped around it. So I unplugged his pulse line, unwrapped it from his feeding tube line, and now everything is, you know, straight. He can lift his arm. Sometimes he lifts his arm voluntarily. So he can lift that without fear of pulling in any way on his feeding tube, which I don't like how it's going under here. It's supposed to be coming out of this pocket at the top and kind of coming up this way so it's out of the way, but it's not. So I don't know. I probably asked them before I leave if they can change the positioning of that so that he can move this arm freely without it getting caught here. But yeah, so those are some of the things that I do when I come in and that I do throughout the day to make sure that he is comfortable and able to heal well. Alright, so it is Friday the 9th and it is just after 9. I just got here, visiting hours just started. So this is the way he looked like when I came in. So of course, he's back on that ear again. I definitely told the nurse who was here when I was here to make sure that she told the night nurse not to position him in that way. The same nurse is here this morning. Guess what he is? Positioned this way. His mouth clearly has not been cared for since I cared for it on yesterday. I can tell because it still has the same coconut oil that I put on there. So clearly nothing has happened. And he's been positioned like this so long that the drool has dried up on his lip. So, and I can see that there's been a bunch of it like right here. So he's been like that for quite some while. Also, he has snot on his arm. This arm, he cannot even move this arm. So I know he didn't like bend his arm and put it up to his face or anything. So I am about to bathe him because I just don't know the condition that he's in right now. He's starting to have salts to build back up on his scalp again. So I'm going to wash his hair and wipe his face. You can see he is sweaty. And his face has not been washed. So I'm going to go ahead and get him together, brush his teeth, do his face, all that, wash his body up because Nick hates being dirty. Okay, it is Saturday at 9:50 a.m. Ignore this, they haven't changed the board in days. But it's Saturday, it's almost 10. The nurses just came in, they gave him his meds, they adjusted him, they sat him up in the bed. Okay, that's all fine and dandy. What they did not do is suck all of this mucus out from his neck. So he's got all of this under there. So I'm going to clean all that up. As you can see, he's back on that ear. So I'm definitely going to get him off of that ear. And I'm about to give him a bath. So I just got finished cleaning him up and giving him a bath. I just turned his neck. And this is his ear. And this is why he's not supposed to be laying on that ear. So I have his neck in a more neutral position now. I'm about to clean up his ear, wash his face, clean his teeth, clean his mouth, and then sit him up. Alright, so as you can see, it took me about an hour, a little over an hour. It's 11 o'clock. But he's clean. His arms are supported. His neck is in a neutral position. I cleaned up his ear and put this covering on his pillows so it'd be more hygienic. And yeah, went ahead and moisturized his lips and brushed his teeth, washed his face. So this is usually what I do first thing when I come in. So y'all, this be the craziness. As y'all can see, Nick is in his sleep. He's relaxing. Okay. And this is him breathing. The respiratory doctor said he thinks that he's breathing too fast and he might need to be put back on the ventilator. For why? This is why you have to come in and be with your loved ones. So I asked the respiratory therapist. The respiratory therapist was like, did the doctor come in here and talk to you? I'm like, no, because unfortunately I was out at lunch. She was like, okay. He asked me to come in and take a look at him because he felt like he was breathing too fast. I might want to put him back on the ventilator. But she was like, he doesn't look like he's breathing fast to me. She was like, doesn't he normally breathe like that? I was like, yeah. She was like, that's what I thought. So I'm just going to take some blood and just, do the blood work or whatever to prove that he doesn't need to be put back on the ventilator. But yeah, I don't see it. I'm like, no. We are this close from rehab care and getting the hell out of this hospital. You're not putting him back on a ventilator. He clearly does not need to be ventilated. I said, so if he had come into the emergency room like this, with this presentation, clearly breathing on his own, would you say that he needed to be ventilated? I'm like, hello? She said, She said, no, probably not, but we would do this test and I'm talking about doing right now just to check and see if he needs to be ventilated. I'm like, okay, but that sounds crazy to me. Now, I've done a little reading, you know what I'm saying? I am astute enough to read medical journals. I went to school for it, you know what I'm saying? I know how to read abstracts and such. And I read up on it, and basically, you know, all of the literature is pointing to getting him off a ventilator as soon as possible, especially for patients who've been ventilated for more than 21 days, which he has. We're on week 4. And moving them to the trach collar and eventually getting them decannulated. So he's on the trach collar. He's been on the trach collar for 2 days now. He's fine. Why would you want to go backward and put him back on a ventilator? It's a no for me, dog. Check on your people. Advocate for your people. Because what the fuck? Y'all, I would love to say that it ends there, but it doesn't. So stick around for part 7. Thank y'all for watching and joining me on this journey.